included in the evaluation report. It will be included in evaluation report.
And we can also change the criteria.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
It is,
Like a
I mean,
measure
it's
of
Just an
So
example.
this is an
weight
example.
of
Yeah.
person.
In many cases, I know the people that we are fortunate to have here today have a certain level of knowledge. In many cases, you don't control somebody, is more prepared. Somebody can look at three offers just on paper and based on experience, analyze the three offers and immediately quantify, you know, which one of the winning bids is more, which one of the bids is more applicable or more beneficial for us. For other, like if the grade of complexity grows a little bit, then you know, like using the tool like this is just a tool. You know, use it, map it. The moment you see it with your eyes, it may be changing your perspective. It happens many times, even to me, even in my process when I'm right now selecting the supplier. I also gave like grades to people that participated in the proof of concept in presentations. And I was sure like 80% that, you know, one of the suppliers is ahead of the curve. And then when I gather all the data and I put it together, it's shifted. I mean, all the feedback that I got and all the input that I got, it shifted my opinion like not 180 degrees, but you know, it showed that what we chose as important points and how other people perceive. Everybody looks at my hand from a different perspective in the room, you know. And it's just about trying to put all those aspects on a paper and give them, you know, like try to give them a weight factor. And so, use it or not, it's just a tool at the end of the day. You know, like we have so many, one of the most difficult cases is that when you get offers, you don't go outside with a requirement form because you are looking for a solution and you are expecting suppliers to come back with the product, with the solution and implementation. And 3 or 4 companies are going to come with different ways of approaching and resolving the same thing. How do you compare between them? You know, which one is more? And when you have multiple layers or multiple factors, you need to put them down. Otherwise, you might end up, you know, not being able to properly assess the cost of opportunity or using that bid that you selected.
This is really welcome, but on the other hand, this decreases the level of transparency because there's always a judgment of the evaluator. Like you can play tune with the weights of
Yeah, but you play to everybody. That's the
yeah,
thing.
but you can play to
in favor of somebody. In favor of somebody else.
In favor of somebody, and then you can just adjust. But this is fine when the tenders are quite complex and.
At the end of the
my
day,
question. If it's mandatory or not?
no, it's a tool. At the end of the day, somebody might come, you know, like 2 years from now, and like somebody's conducting an audit, and might ask, you know, like why did you take that decision at that time? If everything is in here, in 2 years' time, some things get erased, some things stay. If it's on paper, you know, it's here. Here is what I base my decision on.
But it's a sort of fabrication.
Yeah. At the end of the day, there is no bulletproof in anything in this. I mean, if you want to play the system, you can.
And it's also approved at the all levels. It started by technical manager, and after that approved by the center manager, and after that approved by the property manager. So on my side, it's just a way to justify the decision, the final decision. The supply.
Thank you so much.
The second example, obviously we can change the criteria. We can discuss between technical and center manager and property manager. We can put those weights. And finally, to take a justified decision. Signing of the contract. We are talking in the first step about the legal responsibilities and legal clauses that are mandatory to be written in each and every contract in NEPI. So the initiator of the purchase process is responsible to communicate with the legal department in order to have the minimum legal requirements inserted in the contract. the initiator for 5,000 and above 100,000, it is proposed contract must be sent to the legal for general review. The same approach with the addenda, for sure. All the contracts and orders will be either in Romanian or English in native language. Because until now it was a struggle to understand from headquarters Slovakian contract or Croatian,
Yeah, but-
Bulgarian.
But all the
Then-
new contracts for the last 2 years are
Yeah.
new
But-
bilingual.
It was not written in the old version of the procedure. Those are the thresholds for the signing of the contract. Up to 5,000, obviously, it's the center manager responsibilities. Between 5,000 and 100,000, center manager together with the property manager or the relevant marketing manager, depending on the purchase. Between 100,000 and 250,000, property manager together, property manager or head of marketing from HQ and asset manager. In our case, the asset manager is Daniel.
But in order to achieve this, we need to set up the metrics of power of attorney, right?
Yeah, we need to change it. Diana Herinan, you know Diana from legal department, from asset management, is working right now for this change.
My question now is, just shortly interrupt you, Bogdan mentioned in his email that this procedure is valid already since 1st of March.
No,
Yes.
no, that's not true.
Yeah.
It's valid starting with 16th of March.
16th of March, okay. Because in his email was that it's already,
From the,
it's been already valid since 1st of March.
it's valid, it's official since Alex Moral sent it by email.
Okay. So that was not correct information.
And line 7 is interesting.
Sorry, Daniel?
Line 7 is interesting.
Yeah. As a general rule, the contract will be concluded for maximum 1 year period.
Yes, this is.
If not, it will be considered an exception and should be approved accordingly. Okay.
Why it is 1 year?
It was decided together with Marius Barbu and all the heads of the departments. I don't know if it's legal justification.
Like 1 year. Why not 2 years? Why not 5 years? Why not half year? You know what I mean?
It was,
That
yeah,
it has to have some substance for that. And according to our experience, we usually face there needs some kind of flexibility here because there are many cases where it makes sense to sign a contract for 2 years.
Mhm.
There are moments when we can when you can sign for 6 months and so on. But 1 year is just something that is just made up period.
We consider that, but as I already said, it will be considered an exception and should be approved accordingly.
What I want to point out is that it is good to have a discussion and to understand how this came out.
I can only speculate as much as you. Those are not meetings that we were included in. I mean, this is above our pay grade, my pay grade or Marius here. I mean, it was Marius and Mirela and Alex and head of properties and asset directors that decided on this. You can interpret it as you'd like, as a general rule, the beginning of the sentence. But one of the main concerns is that if you sign a contract for 5 years, I will give you an example right now. The financial company Cofas that is making like financial evaluations for companies, insurance and other attributions. They signed a contract with us in 2016 for Romania, in which they provide reports for 1.5 euros, 0.5 euro, 20 euros, 15 euros, depending on the complexity. And that contract was signed with automatic renewal, and nobody bothered to check, like 2.5 years later, that the prices that they offer on the market right now are, because now they have like a lot of companies that are competing for the same services, are less than a quarter than what it used to be 2.5 years ago. So and they won't come to you and say, hey guys, you are paying us way too much, sorry, we need to have a new contract. So like you have those type of renewable contracts that are going on, or they are signed for 5 years. There is a status quo, there is no interest to go and like inspect the market, get pricing. So they thought this is one of this might be one of the reasoning behind it. The other one might be one of legal attribution or exposure. If you sign a contract for 5 years and you want to break out of the contract for other reasons than the ones that are in the contract,
For sure, yeah.
you are bound. If you want to renew it after 1 year and it's still the most, the more, let's say the close to the best offer on the market and so on, it's really easy to renew the contract, sign an addendum, extend the period. But it's really hard the other way around. Like you have penalties to break out or investments that you do. So it's really hard to say. Like you guys are running huge companies, huge complexes that have complex, let's say, relation with suppliers, with tenants. It's really hard to, like, in one sentence, Slovakia, Romania, the Czech Republic, Poland, everybody, like in one sentence, cover all of them,
Yeah, for sure.
But